There are places that disappear because time erases them. And then there are places that refuse to disappear because people simply cannot stop searching. Somewhere beneath the endless dunes of the Sahara Desert, explorers, soldiers, treasure hunters, and historians have chased the same impossible dream for centuries. A city hidden among fertile oases, a place overflowing with water, gold, and unimaginable wealth. A place known only by one mysterious name, Zerzura. The strange part is that some explorers claim they almost found it. Others insisted they saw evidence that it was real. Ancient maps appeared to point toward its location, while old Arabic manuscripts described it in remarkable detail. Yet, despite satellites, aircraft, GPS, and modern archaeology, nobody has ever been able to prove that Zerzura actually existed. So was Zerzura the greatest lost city in history? Or was the entire legend born from the hopes of desperate travelers crossing the deadliest desert on Earth? For thousands of years, the Sahara has been more than a desert. Today it covers over 9 million square kilometers, making it larger than the United States. But the Sahara was not always a sea of sand. Thousands of years ago, much of this region was green. Rivers flowed across landscapes now buried beneath dunes. Lakes supported wildlife including crocodiles, hippos, elephants, and giraffes. Human communities flourished where today almost nothing survives. Rock art scattered throughout the desert still preserves scenes of people fishing, hunting, and raising cattle. The Sahara transformed slowly as Earth's climate shifted, leaving behind isolated pockets of life surrounded by an ocean of sand. Those isolated pockets became the famous oases. They were far more than watering holes. They were lifelines connecting Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Middle East through vast trade networks. Camel caravans transported salt, ivory, spices, textiles, gold, and ideas across distances that seemed impossible. Entire civilizations depend on these hidden islands of water. If one prosperous oasis could exist, why not an entire hidden city? The earliest written descriptions of Zerzura emerged in medieval Arabic manuscripts dating back centuries. According to these accounts, Zerzura was a magnificent white city hidden deep in the western desert. Some versions describe gleaming buildings whose walls reflected sunlight across the dunes. Others spoke of enormous gates guarded by mysterious figures. Perhaps the most intriguing detail appeared repeatedly. The city was said to contain endless treasure, but anyone who entered without permission would never return. At first glance, this sounds like mythology. Nearly every civilization has imagined hidden kingdoms filled with unimaginable wealth. Yet, Zerzura was different because the stories often included surprisingly practical details. The city was consistently linked to specific desert routes, nearby mountain ranges, and remote valleys. Rather than describing a magical kingdom beyond reality, many accounts read almost like travel guides whose final destination simply remained undiscovered. As centuries passed, these stories spread across North Africa and eventually reached Europe. During the 19th century, European explorers became obsessed with filling the blank spaces still covering maps of the Sahara. Huge portions of the desert remain virtually unknown to outsiders. Every unexplored valley represented the possibility of discovering forgotten civilizations. Then came the 20th century, when the search became even more serious. One of the most determined men chasing Zerzura was Hungarian explorer László Almásy. Today, many people recognize his name because he inspired the character in The English Patient. Long before that story, however, Almásy devoted years to exploring Egypt's western desert. Flying primitive aircraft over endless sand, he spotted valleys, dried riverbeds, and rock formations no outsider had documented before. His aerial surveys changed everything. From above, the Sahara revealed secrets invisible from the ground. Ancient drainage systems carved across the landscape suggested that water had once flowed where nothing existed anymore. Hidden plateaus emerged beyond towering dunes. Entire mountain ranges appeared isolated within seas of sand. Suddenly, the legend of Zerzura no longer seemed completely impossible. Then something extraordinary happened. In the early 1930s, Almásy and fellow explorers located remote valleys within the Gilf-Kebir Plateau, one of the most isolated regions on Earth. They discovered caves decorated with prehistoric paintings, depicting swimmers moving through water. Swimmers. In one of the driest places on the planet. The discovery shocked archaeologists because it confirmed something remarkable. Thousands of years earlier, this region had indeed contained lakes and rivers capable of supporting large human populations. If entire communities once lived here, could memories of those settlements have survived for generations before evolving into the legend of Zerzura? This possibility transformed the mystery. Perhaps explorers had been asking the wrong question all along. Instead of wondering whether Zerzura existed exactly as described, maybe they should have asked whether the legend preserved a distorted memory of a civilization swallowed by climate change. Yet the mystery only became deeper. Several expeditions claimed to discover valleys matching medieval descriptions almost perfectly. Some found isolated palm groves surrounded by impossible cliffs. Others located freshwater springs where maps predicted nothing but empty desert. Every discovery fueled new hope that the next expedition would finally uncover the lost city itself. But every promising lead eventually collapsed. Some valleys ended abruptly with no evidence of permanent settlement. Others contained traces of temporary camps, but nothing resembling a great city. Geological formations mistaken for walls turned out to be natural rock formations shaped by wind over millions of years. Still, believers refuse to give up. The Sahara has an unusual ability to hide evidence. Massive sand dunes constantly migrate across the landscape. Entire roads vanish within decades. Ancient camps disappear beneath layers of drifting sand. Archaeologists have uncovered Roman forts buried so completely that nobody knew they existed for centuries. If relatively recent structures can disappear so thoroughly, what chance would a city thousands of years old have? Modern technology seemed destined to solve the puzzle. Satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, high-resolution mapping, and remote sensing have revolutionized archaeology across the world. Hidden pyramids, forgotten temples, and buried settlements have all been identified using methods unimaginable only decades ago. Yet Zerzura remains stubbornly invisible. Some researchers believe this silence speaks volumes. If no city appears despite advanced technology, perhaps Zerzura never existed as a physical place. Instead, it may have represented hope itself. Every caravan crossing the Sahara faced exhaustion, dehydration, and death. The promise of one final oasis beyond the horizon offered psychological survival as much as physical direction. Others strongly disagree. They argue that much of the Sahara remains remarkably underexplored even today. Political instability, extreme temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, shifting terrain, and enormous logistical costs prevent systematic archaeological surveys across vast regions. In reality, surprisingly little of the Western Desert has been examined in detail. History offers reasons to remain cautious before dismissing old legends. The city of Troy was once considered pure fiction until Heinrich Schliemann uncovered its ruins. The ancient kingdom of Petra remained unknown to much of the outside world until the 19th century. Great Zimbabwe confused European scholars who refused to believe such a city could exist before its ruins proved otherwise. Time and again, myths have concealed fragments of historical truth. Does that mean Zerzura is waiting beneath the next dune? Not necessarily. Legends often blend reality with imagination until separating them becomes impossible. A prosperous oasis could gradually transform into a magnificent city. A forgotten settlement might evolve into tales of unimaginable treasure. Generations of storytellers naturally embellish what little remained. And perhaps that is exactly what makes Zerzura so powerful. It exists in a unique space between archaeology and mythology, between science and storytelling. Every new expedition either strengthens belief or deepens skepticism, yet never delivers a final answer. Ironically, the greatest treasure Zerzura may offer is not gold hidden beneath the sand. It is the reminder that even in an age of satellites, artificial intelligence, and global mapping, our planet still holds mysteries capable of resisting certainty. Somewhere beyond the horizon, another unexplored valley still waits beneath the Sahara's shifting dunes. Whether it hides the ruins of a forgotten civilization or nothing more than silence, no one can say with confidence. Because the real mystery has never been whether Zerzura exists. The real mystery is why generation after generation continues to believe that somewhere, against all odds, a lost city is still waiting to be found. So what do you believe? Was Zerzura a real city swallowed by the Sahara thousands of years ago? Or is it one of history's greatest legends, created from hope, memory, and the endless illusion of the desert? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy uncovering the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next expedition into the unknown.